So we're going to now move on to the Better Politics section of the agenda. We'll now move on to that section of the National Policy Report. This is a final year policy document on pages 107 to 117 and the Policy Commission report on pages 187 to 193. Johanna Baxter will now move the annual report and policy document. Johanna.
Chair, Conference, Johanna Baxter, very proud to stand here as one of your representatives on the National Executive Committee. Conference, I'm here to move the report of our Better Politics Policy Commission, and there has never been a better time to call for better politics. But what does that mean? For me, it's about making sure that our citizens feel that their voices are heard, that the country isn't governed just by an elite at Westminster, and that power is more fairly distributed across our nations. Last week, 45% of those who voted in Scotland found themselves so desperate, so disconnected with our politics that they were willing to take one almighty gamble with their jobs, with their economy, with their society and their future. And they did that because they needed to tell us that politics does not work for them. People were so desperate in Scotland that some people were burning our flags. And some people were trying to sell their votes on eBay for 99 pence. That's a scandal. I'm delighted the Scots voted no. Why? Because I'm a unionist for the same reasons that I'm a socialist. We achieve more together than we do apart. We are better together. Solidarity does not and should not stop at any border. At Conference, you might think that I feel very passionately about this subject, and I do. The union gave me my granddad. As a Polish migrant fleeing the war in Europe, he found sanctuary and a home in Ayrshire. And on the 6th of January 1961, he had his certificate of nationalisation. After a lifetime of persecution, he was welcomed into a country that helped liberate his. But the truth is, comrades, that no one in Scotland last week was voting for more of the same. 85% of the population don't traipse to the polling stations to tell us that everything's all right, thank you very much. And I was knocking on those doors, from Cumnock to beautiful Saltcoats, where I grew up, to convince people to vote no. I wasn't campaigning for the status quo, I was campaigning for the people of Scotland. And I understand why people felt let down by the political establishment. And I also understand that if you live in one of the highest rates of unemployment in the country, any party, any politician offering jobs will get a fair hearing. And so many people last week voted yes because they were offered hope. But what they were offered was false hope. And separation would have cost jobs, not delivered them. We know the Tories' famed commitment to democracy, but it's a sham, and we all know it. It's because of them that we ended up with the Police and Crime Commissioner elections, which saw them being elected on turnouts of 15%. And it's because of them that we've got individual voter registration being imposed on the people of this country, that it is estimated to see 9 million people fall off the electoral register, and that is a scandal of our democracy. And when the centre imposes change on the people, it fails. So this was the challenge of our Better Politics Policy Commission. How do we create a politics that feels organic, is led by the people and for the people? In our document, there's a number of recommendations, including greater devolution across the United Kingdom and votes at 16. And after the engagement we saw from young people in Scotland last week, that debate should no longer be in question. But more important, Conference, is the commitment to a new kind of politics, a new kind of organising, new rules for the way we govern society that seeks to rip power from elites and spread it across a democratic United Kingdom. Some say even now, constitutional change doesn't matter. It's rather boring. It's for political geeks. And it's a secondary issue to jobs and growth. But let me tell you this. It's only when people understand how they can bring about change, how politics can make a difference to their lives and in their communities, that we can convince them that we have the right answers to the issues that matter most for them. The electorate will rightly ask, what will Labour do? What difference will we make? But the people will never believe us, whatever our answer, without that feeling of ownership. So I want to say thank you to my fellow Scots. You're argumentative, you're demanding, and you're canny as hell. And it's you that put Westminster on its final warning. But Westminster's got to listen now. And politics in the UK has got to change, or we'll splinter even further than we have. But it must be the right change. Change that inspires, change that empowers, change that changes people's lives for the better. Our party, the Labour Party, has got to be at the forefront of that change. A party that offers hope. Representatives that are visible and accountable. And a radical manifesto with policies that will make a real difference to people's lives. I move the report.
Okay, thank you, Johanna.